Hey YouTube, Shinobi here with a review of the Thundercats 6-inch Wave 1. The first wave of the 6-inch Thundercats line brought us 3 releases, Lion-O, Panthro, and Mumm-Ra in his Everliving form. The Wave 2 will consist of Cheetara and Tigra, and I believe that's it. I think there's only 2 additional ones in Wave 2. But anyway, these retail for $14.97 at Walmart, $17.99 at Toys R Us. So, I would advise not getting them at Toys R Us. I picked these up at Toys R Us, but I got them on a buy one get one 50% off sale with the DX Sword of Omen, so it ended up saving me some money. But buy these at Walmart and save yourself some bucks. So we'll go ahead and start with Lion-O because he's the leader and main character and such like. So here he is. My main gripe with the Lion-O figure is the head sculpt. I just don't particularly like the 6-inch head sculpt compared to the 4-inch one. But it's still really well done. All the details that need to be there are there. And the only other major gripe I have with the figure is the typical Bandai numbering system always present on these figures. I think that's kind of a negative. And these black pins that they use for the joints are all visible along here and very, very obnoxious. A interview with a Bandai rep said that they have fixed this problem. So Cheetara and Tigra will have, I assume, colored joints so that they don't look absolutely horrid. Whether any re-releases of these guys will include colored joints or not, I don't know. I hope not, because I don't feel stupid for buying these ones. But we shall see. So, I mean, as far as articulation is concerned, you have this armor thing in here, just like the 4-inch line, so he can't raise his hand any higher than this. But this hand has a full, this arm, has a full range of motion. There's a swivel right there at the upper bicep, and then a swivel down here at the glove area. And same thing with this arm right here. And then there's a little swivel here at the wrist. It's not a full rotation or anything, but it's a nice little swivel. The body has a rotation right there at the waist. Then the leg articulation is just on a simple swivel joint right there, hindered obviously by the armor, but you can still pull off a lot of poses with that. And then a double joint right here, and then a little swivel down here at the foot. The elbow is a double joint as well. The joint looks really thin, so I would advise not to do too much positioning like that, or else it might break. But I don't think you really have to worry about it too bad. And as far as standing, he stands fairly well. His balance is pretty top-notch. So, no complaints there. And down here we have the claw shield, this little compact mode, with the Sword of Omens inside of it. The 4-inch had a cutout here, so where the Eye of Thundera could little peek out from here. This one doesn't have that, so that's a little bit of a disappointment. But this pops right off. There's a little ball joint in there, right there. So you can pull this holster thing right off if you wanted to. I'm just going to leave it on because, well, it makes sense to. But here's one last look at the Lion-O. Really nice, I do like him. He comes with, obviously, the compact claw shield, the compact Sword of Omens, which has the Eye of Thundera on both sides, oddly enough. The extended claw shield with the claws out. What you do here is simply pop this arm right off and then pop the joint right in there. And by arm I meant hand, even though it's more than a hand, but that pops in right there. It kind of sticks out just because of the way this is shaped to hold the sword, because the compact sword can fit in there too. So it sticks out a little bit and looks a little bit goofy, but that pops in the right fine. We'll go with that because English good. And then we have an extended Sword of Omens that got a little bit bent thanks to Bandai's packing, with the Thundercats logo on both sides. And that can pop right into his hand if you're not stupid. Just like so. So now Lion-O is ready for combat. We'll stick him out back here. The second is Panthro, which is, as you can see here with the scaling, works really well. Mumm-Ra is a little bit shorter than he needs to be, because he's actually quite large in the show. But as far as Panthro and Lion-O is concerned, I think the scaling is pretty well done, at least to where they could still fit it within the scaling system for the 6-inch figures. So here's Panthro, a lot like his 4-inch counterpart, except obviously bigger and badder and stuff. As far as articulation is concerned, his head is on a swivel. The waist has a little bit of maneuverability in the upper torso right here. Not too much, though. The waist is obviously just like Lion-O's and fully maneuverable. Nothing hinders the arms at all. A double joint at the elbow and a swivel at the wrist. Same thing with that arm. Then we have a really cool system with the ball joint there and the swivel right here, kind of like some of the figure arts. Double joint at the knee and then a swivel right here at the foot. So big old Thundercats logo right there on the belt. And spikes everywhere. The spikes are really dull. They're not like figure art spikes where they'll stab you and make you bleed. But numbers on the back. Not too much paint on the back, but there's enough to make me satisfied. And I don't really have too many problems with this. The black pins aren't as noticeable on Panthro because there's really only the ones right here, there, and then right there that are noticeable considering he has black pants. So it's not nearly as bad on him as it is on Lion-O. So that's a plus. Plus, I just really like Panthro. Again, his head sculpt could be better, but it's not horrible by any means. He comes with 2 weapons. The nunchucks, nunchaku, thunderchucks, I don't know what they want to call them. But his nunchuck weapons with the hands, the chain, there we go. The chain there is really pliable, so you can kind of maneuver this however you want to. And these just pop right into his hand like so. So he can have those resting on his back. He can hold the other one if you wanted to. You can have him just kind of relaxed, however you want to do it. And then he has the nunchuck weapons that can attach to his back. So there's a peg right there, and then a hole in the back belt. And those just clip right in there. And apparently take a little bit of effort to pop out. He stands fairly well too. I don't have too big of problems with him. He is a little bit top heavy sometimes. And his ankles do kind of convulge a little bit. I don't know why. And here we have Mumm-Ra, who comes with a lot of stuff despite being massive. So Lion-O actually probably is the cheapest looking out of these figures, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Mumm-Ra's articulation is pretty much what you would expect. The head bobbles a little bit side to side here. Arms, nothing hinders them except for the scarf here in the back. So you have to work your way around that. Just like so. Swivel in the upper bicep. A single joint here at the elbow. And then a swivel at the gauntlet. And the legs, same leg system as Lion-O and Panthro. With a double joint right there at the knee. And a very loose ankle joint. I think Mumm-Ra's have tendency to have loose ankle joints. Mostly because he's so old and brittle. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, the only problem I have with this is his scarf pieces tend to get in the way of things, and his helmet falls off quite a bit, and this scarf piece likes to fall off like no other. It does not want to stay in at all. And so to actually put these on, you have to pop his helmet off, which I just dropped, and then put the scarf pieces in. And then pop this right in over it, which is supposed to secure it in place, but it really doesn't. So you just kind of work with what they give you. Like the 8-inch classic line, he comes with alternate hands. He comes with 2 hands that get to hold his weapons. And those pop right off via ball joint. So you just pull this and it pops right off. Sort of like some of the SIC figures that used the ball jointed fists. That pops right in there, and you are good to go. So he's ready to hold his weapons. As far as weapons are concerned, he comes with a compacted Sword of Plundar that is pretty much good for nothing. It doesn't even hold into his claw shield at all. It's honestly good for nothing. His little claw shield thingy with all the little spidery limbs sticking out of it. This one is hooked together via a clip, so that can just clip right onto his arm. Right there. And he's good to go there. And then a really big Sword of Plundar. Don't fall over, Mumm-Ra. That's double-sided and epic. It splits apart into two. This section and then this section. So what you want to do is take this section and kind of work it into his hand. And then pop this top section in, either going both ways, or you can flip it around and have it going an alternate way. It's up to you, because I don't remember if this was actually used in the show or not. But I'm just going to have him go same way. So he's got a really cool double-bladed weapon, since evil people like double-bladed things. Looking at you, Darth Maul. And like I said, he has really weak ankle joints, so you just kind of have to work with it. But considering you get the really awesome Sword of Plundar, double-sided Blade of Death, plus the cool claw shield, plus 2 additional hands, and then the compact sword, you get a lot of crap considering how big Mumm-Ra is. Panthro is approximately the same size as Mumm-Ra, however, you only get the two nunchuck weapons. Lion-O, despite being the smallest, does look probably the nicest, just because I really do like new Lion-O's design. Plus, he has the 2 claw shields, the 2 Sword of Omens. So you do get everything that a Lion-O figure would need. Now, the real question is 6-inch or 4-inch. The 4-inch line is obviously better suited for kids. It has the vehicles to go along with it, so there's lots of playability between the figures and the vehicles and the Tower of Omens playset. So there's a lot going on in the 4-inch line. For collectors, the 6-inch line is pretty much perfect. With Lion-O, Panthro, and Mumm-Ra here, Tigra and Cheetara in Wave 2, and we've gotten news via the interviews with Bandai reps that they are trying to make a 6-inch scale Wily Kid and Wily Cat available in a 2-pack. So you're going to be with a complete selection of Thundercats for the 6-inch scale. So for those of you on the fence going, what if they don't get all the Thundercats for the 6-inch scale? They will, just give them time. I think by Wave 3 we will have them all. So I definitely recommend the 6-inch figures if you're a collector. If you're getting them for your kids, I would probably advise just getting the 4-inch figures, just because they're a little bit more on the fun scale, as opposed to these, which are clearly more of a collector figure. So definitely recommend these. Look out for Tigra and Cheetara in Wave 2, and yeah, check out ShukenShomi.com for the latest updates on my reviews. And be sure to check out RidersNewsRambles.com, bringing the latest token news in the craziest way possible. So take care and have a great one. Bye.